Hello, friends, and thank you so much for listening. This is Ryan, I hope you can tell, and our episode today is a bit special in that we had some audio issues with Todd's mic in places. Our amazing engineer and producer here at New Leonard Media had a fix, but you'll definitely be able to tell where these fixes happened. It's not terribly annoying, but I still think you should listen to the episode and you will get a lot out of it. Then definitely watch the film Exam. Thank you so much for being with us on this journey so far. And if this is your first listen, thank you for the opportunity to entertain you. Enjoy the episode.
A lot of pressure, man.
Yeah, it is. Evil.
Knievel.
Not our real names.
Nailed it.
Oh, you want me to do my bit? Okay, here we go.
Who are those guys?
You're gonna love it. It's just a little independent.
That might have been too much, man.
Welcome to A Little Independent,
Ali.
the podcast where two friends talk about indie, obscure, or just plain weird movies.
And just celebrate independent film.
That's right. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Hi, Ryan.
Welcome to the studio today. And this is a
That-
recurrence that I'm starting to love,
Yeah,
actually.
when the engineer laughs out loud, then we might be on the right track.
Engineer. Well, I don't know why I decided to Borat that. My son has been, you know, like I guess most idiots my age, I do the Borat voice. It's an easy one to do. And my 10-year-old boy does it all the time now. And he's doing it for his own, you know, things to say, but he throws at my wife and great success. And I'm in so much trouble at home because of it. Why?
The rest of the family's not going along?
Is it because the movie, because of the sequel? Maybe because the Golden Globe just came out and that actress was nominated for Best Actress. I think it got nominated for Best Film. So did seeing the second one like reinvigorate that accent in me, or have I just been doing this
Probably been doing
since
it.
I lived in Miami? I saw that movie in 2004 or something.
Wow.
Oof.
It's been stewing.
Yeah, this was unplanned. So here's our podcast. We are on an episode I'm glad that we're having because we completed a third episode, and I'm glad we're still friends.
Yeah.
You know, some hot insights in that one.
We came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still friends, right? You're not,
Absolutely.
you know, you're not
Wait,
tearing your shirt off.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
That was my beautiful
Should I
Rocky
Drago? I could do, I must break him.
Drago.
Yeah. So interesting third episode, maybe a little longer than normal ones. Who knows how it's going to turn out, but I'm glad we're here.
Yeah, we went a little long on that one.
In looking back, listening to a couple of them, I just want to address a couple of things, inconsistencies on my part. In one particular episode, I talk about how I don't like face acting. And then in another episode, I talk about how I really like face acting. So that's a contradictory situation. And I'm here to say, I don't know how I feel about it. I don't apologize for flip-flopping my position on face acting.
So
Who knows?
what episode?
1 and 2, I think, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
that's
didn't
just
even
an
notice.
inconsistency. And in the last episode, I talked about a shared universe within A Most Beautiful Island. Like I threw it in there like, this is going to pay off at the end, and I didn't. So what I was going to suggest is A Most Beautiful Island shares a universe with the movie Money Plane. Have we talked about Money Plane with Kelsey Grammer?
You've mentioned. I have not seen
Yeah,
it.
so it real short. It's a money plane. People are betting on things. There are table games, and then there are screens, and there will be like a guy in a warehouse with a cobra, and they're betting on how long he's going to live after he gets bit.
Okay.
And then it goes to a screen, two guys in a warehouse trying to stab each other
So they're in international airspace
Yeah,
and they
so
can gamble on
on these
death.
things. And I think maybe Most Beautiful Island spider situation is a shared universe with the Kelsey Grammer classic Money Plane.
Except they went deep down in the bowels of a basement in Manhattan.
Right. G1.
As opposed
But I thought that was kind of
G1.
interesting. It didn't pay off, and I didn't want the listeners to be robbed at that. But a big part of the last episode was a movie I didn't necessarily see eye to eye with you on, but you convinced me of a bunch of different things, and it really was cool listening back on it.
Okay.
And I look at that movie with more fondness, obviously respect for the filmmaker and how it was done, but I just found some silly things.
Okay.
But a big part of you convincing me that I was
feel
a
like
real
I'm about
asshole.
to be blindsided. I feel ill prepared for what's about to happen.
And I'm sorry if this is redundant for the listeners, but in the movie, I accused the lead actress of dipping a blow pop in her coffee, and Todd was quick to say it was ketchup.
Yes.
And long story short is that was her second meal of the day was a sucker dipped in ketchup, and I felt immediately shamed. But I was thinking,
And what was the first meal?
the first meal was a slug of orange juice.
Yeah.
So I was perplexed by this because I felt like she was dipping her. So what I did is I went back to the tape, and I know this is a podcast. This is not really visual. Todd's going to do some work here.
Oh no.
Is I got some photos from the film Most Beautiful Island, and I printed them in black and white because I'm not going to waste color on something stupid like this.
So I just watched 13 episodes of The Staircase in 2 days, and I feel like I'm on the stand right now. I'm about to get the evidence handed to me.
So I need you just to describe what you're looking at.
Oh, jeez. This is a court case.
Okay, here we go. First photo.
All right. That's our Anna looking down.
I'll tell you, she's actually reaching into her rucksack for her sucker.
Okay.
But what else do you see in the photo?
To the left is a pair of hands sticking into the screen and a nose. And it looks like they're probably in that cafe.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, in the very background is a cup of coffee.
Interesting. Okay. So next photo.
Oh, this is not good, folks.
Next photo.
I just got smacked.
What do you see there?
Is that a phone in her hands?
Well, the quality of the. Please excuse the crudity of this model.
Objection. Oh, my attorney just objected.
That's well. I'll help you out. That's a kind of close up of the actress having pulled the wrapper off of a blow pop, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm
blow
sorry.
Pop.
All I see is two nice pairs of legs. You can't tell what she's actually holding. It's a dark object. Cylindrical in shape. About the size of a quarter. Okay. Next.
All right. Next. Try not to get aroused. That is the very next scene in the film. So the previous
this
photo.
is an extreme close up of Miss Anna there with a fetish on the
She's
blow
just
pop.
she's just beginning on the blow pop.
twirling around on her lips
There
there.
we go. And then the final photo. No, he just has to move it away from his face.
Is she dipping that in there? Are you sure? Because I can't see the
You
end
know what?
of it.
You people can't see it, so who knows?
It appears to be.
We can move right on if you want to.
It appears to me a bug with a handle, but I swear to you that I saw it was a dish of ketchup. I'm going to rewatch it.
There. Okay. There is a close up of the coffee mug, and the coffee looks like a shake, but it's clearly her dipping her sucker
Into the coffee.
in coffee, which is equally depressing.
Well, see, with the ketchup,
It's more.
if you remember
substantive.
back in the Regan days, ketchup was a vegetable at the school food line.
That's true.
And
But,
so
blow
I was
pop-
looking at from the nutritional value. She had one sip of orange juice in the morning. And so,
Well, I appreciate the listeners in indulging us in that little tete-a-tete
yep.
with the great Ketchup Coffee Gate of
My
2021.
cross-examination, I feel a little, everything's a little tighter right now. I feel a little tense, like the defense attorney was just handing me the photos. What do you see
Just
here?
because they look so
Tell me.
they look so weird in black and white. I thought that kind of came across as
So-
that surveillance photo.
I just want to point out how, we've already said how long that last podcast was, and now here we're spending all
We're
this
adding
time
to
on
it.
it
I know.
again. So
Insanity.
it must be a damn good movie.
We're not going to get sponsors doing shit like this. So this week it's my movie. I picked a movie that I've been talking to you about for a long time. I think
Yeah. No, you've mentioned this for a long time, and I never watched it.
I may. It's a movie called Exam. Came out in 2009, and I was telling Todd the way I saw it was on disc via Netflix before you streamed. So this
Like-
was
Something being sent to you in the mail.
in the mail. So this was before Netflix redeemed itself and saved itself by starting to stream. And this was, I guess, you're metal detecting. You just look through descriptions of the movie, same thing,
Yeah.
and you just hoped that the disc was available because sometimes there's a wait. Remember, like in the queue,
Yeah.
it
So-
wasn't available.
Could you like do it on your smartphone, or was this pre that?
I
Are you doing
don't
it on
know.
your laptop? Kind of scrolling through the.
no, mostly laptop. I don't think there was an app for it at all.
Okay. Never
And
made it that far.
Look at this going down memory lane like 8 years.
I feel like we should cue some music. Like there's something, some kind of upbeat 80s thing in the background,
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny G. Well, I'm here to tell you you can still get DVDs via Netflix because I recently realized I still have an account and I didn't delete it. And we normally use my wife's, and mine still has the DVD component. In fact, did I lend you one recently?
Still
You
have it.
You still have
I still have it. Kung Pao, ladies and gentlemen.
Kung Pao Enter the Fist. You still have that.
And I haven't watched it. That's why I
Netflix
haven't
has
given it
not
back.
contacted me about this issue.
And I've had it for 2 years.
I think you own Kung Pao Enter the Fist now. Netflix doesn't give a rat's ass.
It's still in the mailback sleeve. Yeah.
So yeah, our movie is called Exam. Description: 8 candidates for a highly desirable corporate job are locked together in an exam room and given a final test with just one seemingly simple question. However, it doesn't take long for confusion to ensue and tensions to unravel.
Yes.
Pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Haven't
I think
watched
so.
it. Does it give too much away at
no,
all?
No. And I just want to point out, well, it's a writer director again, right?
Did you like it? Maybe we should go there.
No,
Did you-
no. Let's just let it play out.
Oh boy.
No, I just want to, again, it's a writer director, I think, which every podcast we've done so far
So far,
is, yeah. And producer on this one, right?
yes.
Okay. So how incredibly difficult that is to do, to write and direct and produce your own movie.
Well, I mean, you could say it's a style of movie we call one locations.
One room. Yeah.
It's mostly set in one location.
Yeah. And that makes the writing even more difficult, just to be
I
in
agree.
one room. I mean, try it.
Sure,
It's really hard to do. To keep the tension slowly ratcheting up, keep it interesting,
Yeah.
to have
I mean, because we can talk in one room for the length of a movie, but nobody might find it interesting.
right.
So we could do it. It's just nobody would care.
They're in the fridge. They're washing dishes.
It's categorized as a mystery thriller. Pretty.
I saw it as and I might have even read this too, a psychological thriller.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I think that's what I read on it,
Yeah.
and I think that's spot on.
And again, all of my stuff is from IMDb for no apparent reason. And so going through the cast, did you recognize anybody from the cast? I've got a couple of highlights but
Yeah.
anybody stick out to you?
I didn't. It is a British film,
Mm-hmm.
so they're all Brits. I
Right.
looked up one or two of them, but I did not. None of them stood out. No.
Well, the IMDb listing, which is kind of interesting, is listed first as Natalie Cox. And we're going to have to address something at the top here, is that they don't have character names in this movie. They decide to give each other names based on their traits. So it's not very sensitive, vaguely racist or sexist. They call each other. So just putting that out there now, it's not offensive, but so Natalie Cox is blonde, and because she's got blonde hair.
Yep.
She had a role in Clash of the Titans, the remake, 2010. Actually,
okay.
like a kind of minorish role. Gemma Chan is listed as Chinese girl, and This is the girl who was not in the movie very long.
She, poor girl, didn't even get a chance to get
Yeah.
get a racist name.
So she
would have been
yeah,
Miss Yellow, I guess, right?
probably. But this was her first feature film, but she is probably the biggest star of all
Oh.
of them. She was in Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Transformers The Last Night, little Mark Wahlberg, and Crazy Rich Asians, which got a lot of love a couple of years ago. So she's gone on to do some big things from this.
That's cool.
I'm going to try Chukwudi Iwuji, who plays a character named Black. He was in John Wick Chapter 2. I don't remember him in it, but I think that was kind of cool.
Okay.
And then this one got me excited because I saw this actress in a movie after Exam, but Pollyanna McIntosh plays Brunette.
Yep. She's the one I looked up because of that name, Pollyanna. Like,
Oh, did
has
you
to be
find something
British.
that you'd seen her in
Just-
or anything?
No, her name that name, and you never hear that name.
She is in that movie Let Us Pray, Prey, about the prison.
Oh.
Where Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones, he plays Davos Seaworth. He ends up in this prison and just all hell breaks loose. She is the lead in that movie.
Wow. Did I
She's
say-
really good in that.
Man, I don't remember if I know you told me to watch it. I can't remember if
It's
doesn't
really
sound
good.
familiar.
Really, really good. And
Okay.
she's great in it. And so I saw, she also happens to be in Clash of the Titans in 2010. So she's in a movie with our lead, kind of.
Yep.
And then Jimmy Mystery, who plays Brown, I recognized him. He's in the shittiest disaster movie ever, 2012. Do you remember that? John Cusack.
Yeah.
It's a
I didn't
fucking
know if you were
worst.
telling me the year of the movie. Yeah.
No, it's the worst.
It's terrible.
But he's also in a movie called Rock and Rolla. Have you ever seen Rock and Rolla, the Guy Ritchie movie?
No.
Now, knowing me, I'm going to tell you who's in Rock and Rolla and tell me if this is my perfect movie. Gerard Butler, Idris Elba, Toby Kebbell, Ludacris, Tom Hardy, and Jeremy Piven.
Oh my God, it is really close. You throw Kurt Russell in there,
Or Christian Bale, and oof,
and
that's perfect cinema.
ladies and gentlemen, all Ryan's man crushes. in a
That's
row.
right. And then also, I think the biggest star in this movie, at least at the time, is Colin Salmon. He is the Invigilator.
He had just an amazing voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, that's James Bond right there.
Oh, wait a second. Do you know why he's famous?
No.
He's in 3 James Bond movies.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. He's in 3 Brosnan James Bond movies.
Oh, well, just his voice was like, he would make a hell of
Oh.
a James Bond, 007.
Holy shit.
And he's, wow. You heard it here
He's
live,
in,
folks.
He's in 3. He's also in London Has Fallen, Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
He's in Punisher Warzone, which is one of the best Punisher movies made.
Well,
He's in 3. He's like M's right hand.
he is perfect in this movie, though. He is so spot on
And,
for his role.
don't think my clip isn't him in the beginning. It is.
Oh.
And Invigilator, just so we can get it out of the way off the top, is someone who watches an examination. Is someone who watches examination candidates to prevent cheating. It's a British term.
I got, when I looked it up, supervisor of students taking an exam.
We're way off, way apart.
Well, I think they're
yeah.
both saying the same thing
Yeah.
in a different way.
It's a British term. I found
Have
a
you
couple
heard
of,
that term before?
No.
This movie? Me, good.
No.
Because I'm like, all right, all his college degrees, Ryan's going to make fun of
Well,
him and this and that.
So just to get at it, did you think sci-fi? Did you think futuristic at all?
For
this movie.
From his title?
Yeah. Or no, just like, in the movie in general, when you got into it, did you think it was a sci-fi movie at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
I had that
mean,
vibe right away.
You had kind of, over the last 7 years, mentioned it a few different times. So I knew it was
Yeah.
all in one room, and I knew it was kind of like, a psychological thriller.
It just, for some reason, felt sci-fi for me the first time I watched it.
Oh, I know why.
Written and directed by Stuart Hazeldine. And the only other movie that I'd seen that he's noted for is The Shack in 2017. And there's a story credit given to Simon Garrity. And I think I found why. And this is pretty like Stuart Haseldean is a really good guy if this is why.
Okay.
But Simon Garrity has a story by credit. It's his only credit ever in any movie. Tagline, 80 minutes, 8 candidates, 1 answer, no question.
One question lies before you.
Inaccurate, I guess. But no question is kind of fun.
It's a good tagline, except that one comment there is a little misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hour and 41 minutes, and from what I found, the worldwide gross was $394,000.
Oh, 12 Angry Men right there.
So, and I think this movie has a few parallels to 12 Angry
It
Men.
absolutely does, yeah.
You know, a couple of notes. It was nominated for a BAFTA award in 2010 for outstanding debut by a British writer, director, or producer. And it won the Panavision Spirit Award for independent cinema at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival.
Yes.
So, not as prestigious as other movies we've done, but
Yeah, should we go into that again? No.
what do you think the Santa Barbara Film Festival is like?
Well, it's
I
international.
mean, a lot of old people just complaining that it's too hot.
You're more familiar with that area than myself, but yeah, that
I'm just perpetuating weird stereotypes. Then I just think.
I mean, it
it's like
certainly
Boca.
wasn't.
It's like the Boca International Film Festival. Just like this movie's too loud. Quentin Tarantino sounds like a weirdo.
Palm Beach outdoor cinema by the pool.
A few things that I know about the director. Again, I watched some interviews. I don't know if he is a very, very spiritual person.
Okay, I got a lot of that in my notes because I kept seeing that theme throughout this, and I'm like, wow, this guy is really Christian
Really?
/ spiritual.
Yeah.
Even in this one. So when I looked it up, 2004, he was a writer-director of a movie called Christian. And it's about the Son of God coming back as a 14-year-old boy in a British high school.
Named
that's, like,
Christian?
Really heavy. No, I don't know. But so they're saying, like, Jesus comes disguised as a 14-year-old boy in some rough, tough British high school. And he wrote and directed in 2004. Like, wow.
That could be looked at in a few ways. That could be looked at as a comedy if you read it that way.
Yeah. But then he directed The Shack, which was that whole spirit.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it.
Oprah Winfrey produced, and it's
Oh,
God is
Oprah.
played by a black woman. And
Oprah.
Holy Spirit's played by an Asian girl, and then Jesus definitely looks Middle Eastern.
This is his movie?
He directed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he is very
He's
Christian.
interestingly enough, his early inspirations were movies Star Wars, Blade Runner, and Alien. And the thing that this is a nerdy thing, but did you notice how the title, Exam, the letters kind of start to show up like the opening credits of Alien?
Oh, yeah. Now that you
It's
say
exactly
it,
the same.
yeah.
And when I read that he was a huge fan of Alien, I was like, I see what you did there, fella. And he said that the idea for the movie was inspired by a call with a friend who said, what if like 10 students went into a classroom for a test and the paper is blank?
Really?
And I assume that's Simon Garrity, right?
That must be. Well, you got the story credit.
So
That
a
has
guy
to be
he
the
talked
guy.
to on the phone who said that, he gave him an official story by credit.
Yeah.
That's a good friend, I think.
Well, that was the initial seed. You know that was. That's
and then
cool.
he said he kind of developed it, into a more adult thing. And what if it was a job?
Well, yeah,
job interview.
he had a lot of layers in there, so
Yeah.
it's good writing.
So the movie opens on people kind of getting dressed in various states,
Getting prepared for what maybe like a job interview or something
like extreme close-ups. You
Talking
don't
to
see
themselves in the mirror.
anybody. So again, he may have saved money. Just one location, a mirror, a
like that. Oh
sink.
yeah, and
Public
they all
restroom.
they all seem to have damage. Like there's a couple of them have cuts or blood dripping on the collar.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You see that they've been through some stuff, and then they mention that right away.
Well, I noted the cast was being listed by number,
And it was their actual name.
and what I noted, I mentioned the list on IMDb as Natalie Cox, #1 build. The movie has John Lloyd Fillingham build #1. That's deaf.
Because he's candidate number
Number
one.
one.
And then so it's weird.
But why do they bill it that
It's
way?
weird credits
Because who would you say is the star or the lead of the movie? Is anyone?
So that one should have been candidate 1, you think?
I think it's interesting that they listed him based on who we find out he is.
I think that's why he's candidate number 1.
Right. But why list him #1 in the credits? Just because it's
They
linear
go in
by
order of
yeah.
candidates.
And Gemma Chan is billed second,
She's-
both in the movie and on IMDb. And I timed it. She's in the movie for 74 seconds. It's not a joke.
Sometimes being aggressive means you're the first one shot.
Because my wife was psyched to watch this again as well, because when we watched it, I think back maybe in 2010,
Oh,
I
wow.
was still in Illinois, she really liked it too. So she was psyched to see it. And
Yeah.
now she knows we're doing this. She'll start to help with. And so she said, time how long she was in this movie. It's like,
Get out of here.
oh, good. So second build, 74 seconds. And I thought it was interesting as the characters are being introduced. You mentioned a few things. So one, you see a guy flip a big coin.
Yep.
Then you see a guy put a bandage on a cut over his eye.
Yeah.
Then you see a close-up of a Band-Aid going on a girl's heel that goes into a shoe. One character has little specks of blood on his shirt cuff.
Yep. He's trying to wash it off.
And then the last one is a guy chomps down on a big blue pill.
And chokes it down.
And only,
Trouble swallowing. Well, he doesn't take a drink of water. either.
yeah, it doesn't seem pleasant. I thought drugs or something like that.
Yeah.
And only 2 of them speak, who we find out is Mr. Black and Brunette. So
Yeah.
I wondered, because again,
Well-
I'm thinking, is that significant that 2 of them speak?
Well, and Mr. Black, too, is looking in the mirror and he's holding his cross necklace in his hand and says, something to the effect of all things are possible or I can do anything or something. So he's
Yeah.
paraphrasing that all things are possible with God kind of thing. So he introduces that quite early.
And you have a lot of
really?
close-ups, and then it goes into my favorite. I don't know what you call this, but like Los Angeles, 2088. It just says soon.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
I think that is
The
kind of a weird because spoiler alert a little bit, there is a pandemic element to this movie, which I totally forgot, to be honest. And that made it kind of a little prescient. Like, oh, wow, this is interesting. I kind of forgot about that.
It fits more today than
Yeah.
obviously.
But the idea is that this perpetually can be happening soon. So that's when I thought sci-fi, and it was a neat way to transition that. But it opens on the room that they're going to occupy. This, how would you describe this room?
So alien.
Really?
Like kind of like the ship in Aliens kind of gives you that feel.
It's very metallic. It's very industrial. It's not welcoming at all.
Nope. Low lit.
Very low lit. And there are 8 desks, and atop those 8 desks, what looks like a piece of paper and a pencil.
Yep.
And they kind of pan around the room, which is just a dire space. So based on this intro and based on what's happening, I'm thinking, okay, does anybody really want this job? This seems like the worst experience ever. Everybody seems
To go through that,
Yeah.
you really have to want it.
or what you see in the beginning is what they've gone through to get to this point.
Right. Oh, that's exactly what I think it is.
Wow.
The montage in the beginning, and
Yeah.
because our James Bond guy is going to say that.
And you have a clock at the end and a 2-way mirror, and they're brought in and they sit down.
They all knew where to go sit, so they knew which candidate they were
Yeah. Nobody was speaking.
without saying anything.
And we have a guard who comes in, and one of the candidates decidedly notices the guard is armed.
Yeah, the camera focuses on the gun for a moment.
And that's odd. In a job interview.
You know that this is serious.
And then we get our guy, the Invigilator, who comes in, and his bit was my favorite. So I have my recording
Oh, this is gonna be cool.
is
Play it.
that guy's voice. To your point, I'm like, I could listen to this guy. So
I want him to read every audiobook ever.
exactly. It settles on his feet, and it pans up his body for a comically long time. But
They focus on his shoes even walking in.
this is not the whole thing, but this is essentially he is instructing them, he's welcoming them, and these are the rules, and this is what's going on.
The test is simple in comparison, yet it will determine who leaves this room with a contract of employment and who leaves with the bus fare home. Through these trials, you've gained some idea of the power of this organization, so believe me when I tell you that there is no law in this room but our law. And the only rules in here are our rules. There is one question before you, and one answer is required. If you try to communicate with myself or the guard, you will be disqualified. If you spoil your paper, intentionally or accidentally, you will be disqualified. If you choose to leave this room for any reason, you will be disqualified. Any questions? Best of luck, ladies and gentlemen. We're giving the 8 of you 80 minutes. 80 minutes for you to convince us you have what it takes to join us. 80 minutes to determine the next 80 years of your lives. Begin.
So without the gravitas of his, I'm like, if the guy came in like, you have 80 minutes, or if it's Woody Allen, like the guy's, the voice is so impressive.
Yeah.
So what did you think from that? Like, what was your first thought?
I immediately stopped, paused, and I wrote down each one of his rules because I knew. You could feel it. This is setting up the entire movie. This is going to be important. I'm going to have to know what each of these rules are. And with it being all in one room, and I'm glad it paid off. The linguistic aspect of
Right.
it was fascinating.
And that's something
stuff.
that you like from a filmmaker. You like when they're setting you up, they're showing you kind of their cards with, some surprises, hell, but you like that establishing these are the rules, this is what we're going to be into.
Yeah, and every single word is going to matter in those quick instructions you just gave.
And the big, after
one word will make a difference.
Right. And they talk about that. Like, let's focus on what he said, what he didn't say. But these candidates who've obviously been through a lot, maybe fights or, whatever, what have you, they have papers in front of them that say candidate 1, 2 through 8.
Yep.
They turn the papers over.
Blank.
Yeah.
Blank white paper on the back.
So was that effective for you, that moment? Like,
Oh, yeah.
did you expect it?
Yeah, you're like,
in a way?
what the hell? The same as all the looks on their faces,
And
Now what?
I found it odd that the writing utensil was a pencil.
Really?
That was the first thing. Like, okay,
Not a pen?
I'm thinking sci-fi.
Why sci-fi? You think they're on...
I don't know, because of the Soon. The Soon really put me in a sci-fi frame of mind.
I wonder, you mentioned before in the past that you may have likened it to Will Smith taking his test in Men in Black and dragging the desk over.
Yeah.
Is that where the
All right.
sci-fi is coming from?
No, that's arguably a really funny and perfect scene, actually.
But it's kind of based on, you're the best of the best.
Yeah, with honors, sir.
Yeah, it's kind
Yeah,
of
I don't know.
but
Well,
seriousness.
it just, okay, what's this? Maybe it's so sci-fi, it's retro, and they're going back to pencils. But what happens in their confusion is Gemma Chan's character, I think impulsively starts to write on her paper, and you see it saying, I deserve this job because, so she's starting to write an essay.
I believe I deserve.
and she's taken out.
And then the guard goes,
74 seconds into the movie.
well, you see a hidden camera lens go, "Zzz," that little thing, so you know they're being watched. That set that up.
That's exactly how it sounded.
Yeah. It sounded just like Rambo 2 putting the broadhead on his arrow.
Doing the broadhead.
Because when you screw a broadhead on an arrow, it sounds like a drill bit going. Zzz.
Here's the Arrow Talk. Back with you in a moment. Sponsored by Cabela's. Yeah. Not really a sponsor.
Adrian! Oh, wrong.
But she's taken out. And is that
In a harsh manner, too.
essentially because she spoiled her paper?
Absolutely, 100%.
So the first thing out of the gate is don't write on this paper.
Well, and my lines in my notes was 8 candidates, 80 minutes, and 80 years. And then if you spoil your paper, ? Because I didn't know what the definition
Should
of
we
the
clarify?
word spoil was.
We should clarify that for our non-British listeners.
Well,
that means
and I'm one of them.
to ruin it or besmirch it.
Besmirch it.
Well, it means ruin.
How do you smirch
It
your
means
paper?
ruin, but you wouldn't think
Is that a
ruining
normal British term?
it spoil. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because
We could get emails about this from any potential British.
yeah, what is how?
But I
let us know that?
I take it our email address, which I've said before. A little independent podcast at gmail.com.
There it is.
He's happy now. But so she writes on it. So their instinct is, okay, we cannot write on these papers.
Yeah, for sure. Because the next thing is you see all this. They're all I think it was brunette.
Yeah.
Boom, down goes the pencil.
So they realize they can talk to one another. They decide on fake names.
Well,
And
I found it interesting how they started talking because this made me think. All right, so you got this kind of dynamic. Everybody's confused. This is a high power position that everybody wants. They just watch somebody ripped from their midst, and they're all just kind of sitting there in shock, like, all right, what do I do now?
did you suppose that she was off to be killed?
And then, no.
I kind of did. That was fun for me.
When she
Like
'Cause
off
she-
to the incinerator with
she
you.
cries for her mom, right? She says, "Mom," or something
Yeah,
like that.
I assumed that she was off to be murdered.
Like she was never coming.
yeah, you've seen too much.
That's the sci-fi part.
Goodbye. 74 seconds. Probably got paid, $300,000.
But
No,
then
probably not.
in a situation like that, it just felt right what happened. One guy who I called Alpha.
Alpha. You did too?
Yeah. Did you put that? That's right
Major
here.
Alpha.
Alpha stands up.
Mr. White.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's his decision not to use names. And when you're looking at this from a sociological perspective, you're like, okay, these are clearly highly talented people, but patterns are going to emerge and people are going to try to dominate right off the bat, which
Right.
is interesting about a movie like this.
Yeah, and later on, one guy comments that they're all type A's, but there's always a type A of the type A.
Yeah.
And, and that made sense to me. And then, of course, it moves the story forward.
And then you start to think, what would I do in this scenario? Would I be the one who's suggesting? Would I be the one who's coordinating? Would I be alpha-ing like Mr. White? But they start to hone in on how to expose the question on the paper. So is it not, you obviously can't write on it because at one point they were going to try to use the dull end of a pencil. Then they think it's lighting. Maybe there's special UV lights. So they try to get the emergency lights on and smash the lights. And all the while, you forget about the security guard, but this dude is just in there.
Like a robot.
Stone-faced.
Yeah, not moving.
Buckingham Palace style. I mean, what a bizarre day that is.
Yeah, so they're trying to see
Especially as the movie gets on in later scene.
Oh, yeah, the end
But
there.
what a weird, what if he had to fart?
Well, that's another sci-fi part. He's robotic. He could have been a robot.
If he had to take a shit, if he
Robots
really,
don't
would
shit.
he just, do you think he's a robot?
He could have been.
Thought it
Going
wasn't
with your
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Okay. But if he had to, if something happened, like ate the wrong thing in the lunch at the cafeteria that day.
That's
and
happened to me.
And he's got to be like, I know we got this thing where I got to look like this stone-faced dude. I'm going to shit my pants right now if I don't get out of here.
80 minutes. I
80
can't go. I can't do it.
Timas enema. I don't know what he does. But
Yeah, he doesn't eat. He doesn't eat 2 hours, before he goes in there.
So they try to manipulate the lights, and then you start to see little traits of people coming out because Mr. Black seems to have some knowledge of
their
lights
personalities are coming to life.
And photosensitivity, he starts to have some authority there.
So they once Alpha starts the conversation rolling and says it's not what.
Is he just a douchebag at the get, not just because?
Oh, and he's good at it too.
He is.
You hate this.
This
guy.
is a great performance, actually.
Every one of them does their character really well, and it's hard. Again, you're in one room and there's a camera guy in there circling you, and you got to perform this.
What's
well.
so notable about British films, and I'm going to liken this to the weirdest thing, but the Great British Baking Show. It's remarkable. I know. Are you shocked, everybody? But it's this British baking show, and the candidates are all British, but they're from all over. They're from Asia. They're from India. It's such a diverse group of people. They're all British, but this is the same thing. If you look at this movie is made here, and it's like the cast of Friends. Throw them in a room. This is really diverse, and it's on purpose casting-wise, but you see that in British productions where it's much more multicultural, and I think that makes a movie like this more interesting, even though they're being so racist with one another.
Well, yeah, we
calling
should
each other their skin color.
Address that. He decides, he being Alpha, they decide, okay, we'll use nicknames. So he goes, let's make this easy. I'm white, because he's a white male. He points at the black guys as you're black. You're Gandhi. Nope.
Oh, he starts
Don't
calling
like
him Gandhi.
Yeah, and he says you're brown. And then same with the girls, brunette, blonde, and dark.
Did that bother you? I mean, yeah. So
he
there's
calls
two.
The other brunette dark.
At least, well,
because maybe I don't think her hair was any darker, but he just got the sense of dark from her, and then he didn't have to deal with the other one because she was already gone. So then they come up with the light idea to check the papers. So there's lights around the room, and they're each going up, holding their paper up to the light.
Nothing.
And then Alpha's just being such a douche, like, this is the stupidest idea. You stupid. But did you see what he did when Brunette walked up and was holding her paper up to the light? Did you see what Alpha was doing?
I don't think so.
He was staring right at her ass the whole time.
Well, of course he was.
Because he's just that douche.
Yeah.
And guys never do that.
No. I'm glad we're dispelling myths here.
Right.
So he's not super supportive of it, but you can tell he's kind of clocking the situation, going to use it to his advantage. And there wasn't a lot of humor in this movie, but there was one funny line I noted, and I think it's when they smashed the ultraviolet lights.
Yeah,
or expose the ultraviolet lights, and
so they notice these other row of lights and these
beyond the other ones
slits in the wall, and they're trying to determine if, like in a painting, if infrared light can show the sketching beneath the painting. So they're
all decent ideas.
Yeah.
If I was in this position,
what else do you do?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be a question. They got to figure out the question.
And Brunette says, "At least we'll get out of here with great tans." So one bit of levity in a movie that's not, and I don't mind a movie that has no humor.
And my bit of levity quote is also from Brunette coming up here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Did we watch this together? Or
holding hands with our husband pillows.
I got to get mine.
And
we're just plugging everything.
So for White's douchedom and just being a total tool, he's obviously there for a reason. And he does have a couple of good ideas. He decides to write on candidate 2's paper, which is left behind, to see if that technically means spoiling his paper. And it doesn't, which is pretty clever, I have to say.
Well, it was suggested that you could rub the pencil on it and you would see the question
but his
come out.
idea was, well, can we write on something? I was told not to spoil my paper. Can I write on another's? And again, candidate 2, who was escorted out, he grabs her paper, writes on it. Nothing happens.
Right.
And that's going to take a gamble.
Well, again, that comes back to that first introduction and going down to the single word. And it's he said, the Invigilator, is that how you say it? He says, if you spoil your paper, either intentional or by accident, you will be disqualified. If you.
Yeah, doesn't mean you can't spoil somebody else's.
If your paper gets spoiled or if you're allowed, because I was actually off track a little bit. I was thinking, all right, just grab your friggin' pencil, run around the room and draw on everybody's paper, you win.
Oh, no.
But
no. You can draw on everybody else's paper but yours.
But it was down to that one word.
Yep.
You couldn't go and spoil somebody else's paper.
I noticed one thing early on, and it didn't occur to me until now, is you had the close-ups of all the candidates, but candidate one was definitely not as well dressed as everybody. This is the first time I noticed that.
And you know what I immediately thought of when they showed him was Usual Suspects.
Like a verbal Kent situation, like a Kevin Spacey.
He was Kaiser Sose.
Yeah. Well, look at you.
Yeah. I mean, because he was so out of place with everybody else, I immediately thought of Usual Suspects.
That's really. I didn't go there, but that's intuitive. That's really. I just thought that he
might have.
Everybody was so polished, and he just had a collared shirt, but no
he's
tie.
Hunched over. He's everybody's got great, perfect posture.
And they call him deaf because he doesn't respond to anything that they're doing, but inexplicably he starts speaking French and looking like he's losing his mind.
Yeah, we're almost to that part. So we've eliminated the lights, right? All the lights don't work. Then they come up with the idea of water along with the pencil part. So he rips candidate two's paper, hands some to the girls and some to him, and
is this the
he
water?
walks over in the corner and decides to relieve himself on the paper to see if the writing would come out.
They try to get the paper wet in different ways.
And so, of course, he invites one of the girls to come over and hold it for him. And which one does he prefer?
Oh, does he say something pervy to somebody?
Yeah, he says, well, brunettes.
Oh, she says, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, you don't want to know what I'm doing over here. It's Australian. Said no accent, so why are we doing
he
this?
says, I'd prefer blonde came and hold it. And then brunette says, my quote, oh, great, a pissing contest.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
Stupid boys, that's all they ever do.
Yeah.
Is get into a fight with each other and blah, blah, blah. But, it was just really funny the way she delivered it. So is
this when brunette goes to the guard, the security guard, and roots through his pockets?
That's later.
Oh, that's later.
That's when the fire stuff comes in.
That's right. So they're still trying to figure out what is the question. What is the question? Yep. What is the question?
So the peeing on it doesn't work.
And this is when Def starts speaking in French out of nowhere and freaking everybody out, saying, "Can you see it? It shows you yourself."
Well, he's speaking in French, and then our Dark is interpreting, which is definitely in line with her character when we find out who she is.
Yeah.
So this is my spiritual moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the French. It's translated. He's speaking in French, and he says, "Can you see it there?" Yeah. Can you see it there? It shows you yourself. To see clearly is all. And he's looking at the blank piece of paper. So what struck me was that a blank piece of paper is basically like everyone sees what they are inside. And he says it shows you yourself. So you're going to love this movie reference.
You had this nailed.
When Yoda sends Luke into the swamp by himself to be alone, to show him himself, he says, "What will I find there?" And he says, "Only what you will take with you."
Yeah.
So it's basically like going on a vision quest. It's likened to all that, where you sit in solitude for a length of time because nothing outside of you is stimulating you. Everything is coming from within. So you are, and all there is
so do you
to
think
see clearly.
this was Def working out his process, working out the answer, or did you think he was part of it?
I thought he started reading it then because he is an extremely anxious, high anxiety person.
Yeah.
Has panic attacks, you can tell all the time. And everything just got ratcheted up. When Alpha goes to the back room and starts pissing all over the paper and telling him, "Hey, you can come hold it." The tension in the room is going up quite a bit.
Let alone it's going to smell like piss in that room. Thanks, Alpha.
So I think at this point, him being who he is, kind of wants out of this. So he's giving them the full clues for the movie. So not only are they spiritual, they're actually clues for solving the whole thing.
Interesting. What if White taking a piss in the corner made the guard put him over the top?
What if
I just want to know if that
the guard shit himself
does he have
because
to pee?
He's hearing the
does
water
he have
run?
To pee?
We spent a lot of time with this guy.
I just didn't think about it until now. But so Mr. Brown suggests that it's actually a big experiment, and this tied into the last movie actually, where he said it's 4 men, 4 women, equally matched. This is the board is betting on us.
Yeah.
So he thinks they've all got the job. Maybe they're all supposed to work together.
I thought Cabin in the Woods as soon as he was describing that.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm like, here's all these people behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Pulling the levers.
And they start to hone in on what the company is. And a startup is mentioned.
Dark.
Yeah, she mentions a startup.
Like she knows way too much about this company.
For good reason. But then we get a couple more reveals. Mr. Brown reveals himself as a gambler. He says, I'm a gambler.
Dark calls him out.
And he has,
Says he's a gambler.
has the coin.
Yep.
And he presupposes she is a shrink or has knowledge of psychological medicine, which she doesn't refute.
He says psychologist or psychiatrist, I forget the difference. And she says, I am a student of human behavior.
Right.
Yeah, which comes back later.
Which is kind of fun. So you're starting to peel back the layers of who these people are and why they're where they are.
Yeah, and after I watched it, either the second or third time, I really started to realize how each character was, showing their true good side and bad side throughout this whole thing, who they were.
Yeah.
Very good job.
Because up to this point, you have Blonde, who's not making a lot of waves. Like, I realize in our discussion about the movie up to this point, we have not talked about her much. And you could say, sweet. Like, that may be me. Let everybody else just bark at each other, and you just kind of sit back and, let it unfold and use your own process. Don't freak out like the guy speaking French. But then, and there's a lot of dialogue, and that could be a detractor for this movie. The middle may be dialogue heavy. I particularly like it in this. But they start to settle on the fact that the company that they may be interviewing for has this elusive CEO, and he hasn't been seen since the initial IPO, and that may be why they're there.
Yeah, and they discover, basically Brown and Dark are going at it. They're butting heads.
And it's interesting why and who butts heads.
Yeah.
Because Dark, she seems like a know-it-all, I guess. So maybe she's sticking her nose in, and so she's just there. But Mr. White is the most aggressive, and then it kind of takes a turn. But Dark starts to share that she knows a lot. And she talks about the CEO, and the quote is, the CEO is hands-on. He micromanages all important aspects of the company. And she suggests that aside from the Invigilator,
I am the Terminator.
Invigilator. Whoa, cheesy. Why did it? That aside from that person, that the CEO is behind the glass as well, and that he would be, whatever decision this is so big that he would be hands-on.
Because this is exactly how he would do it. Little do we know.
And Dark then mentions that she applied for the job because they question her, right? Why do you know so much? And she's like, why don't you know any of this?
Yeah. So all of them applied except for 2 of them were
Mr. White and Mr. Brown were headhunted.
Yes.
Because they got people.
They know they're on what's that site, for the job? Not Indeed, but I don't know. What were you just talking
Some
about?
Some nerdy discussion now. Let's talk employment websites, guys.
Yeah, LinkedIn. There you go.
Yeah.
They're
Sweet
on
LinkedIn
they're
reference.
on LinkedIn, and all the other power players are not.
No, he says they got people. We trust our agents or whatever. And then Mr. White said all he knows, it's a Fortune 500 company manufacturing state-of-the-art technology in a core service industry. So they all start revealing they know bits and pieces about this.
And really, White just cared about the salary and benefits, which,
right.
The douche that he is, that's all he would care about.
So I've got another recording. I'm shocking you and the audience. Because, and this is not a knock against British accents or anything, but Mr. White has a very strong British accent. And did you notice how he says the word balls?
Yes.
It's like balls.
And then they pan to each of the 3 girls in the room.
But
and
he
their
pauses.
reaction.
So I recorded this because it's so great. The way he says "bulls." Here we go.
The test is simply
Oops. Nope.
Wow. He sounds amazingly
yeah.
like the Invigilator.
Sounds like the Invigilator. All right. Take 2. Bulls.
You didn't want to know any more than that?
The deal was no questions asked. Yeah, anyway, we trust our agents. Anyone would have done the same in our position. Anyone with balls.
All right. One more.
That's how James Bond would say it.
You didn't want to know any more than that?
The deal was no questions asked. Yeah, anyway, we trust our agents. Anyone would have done the same in our position. Anyone with balls.
Pan to each woman in the room and their reaction to his bulls.
Bulls.
If they had bulls.
I again, I love the British accent in all of its forms, but that made me laugh real hard. And I'm not sure it was supposed to, but he leans into balls. Then they find themselves talking about a virus that materialized 10 years ago, and now we're on a...
Yeah, they're focusing in on Brunette after those two are done arguing and about her, why she knows was it about the virus? Why she knows about it?
Because
And
her
she-
partner is infected.
Yeah, she admits that. They thought she was infected.
And they say that they realize the name of the company is Biorg
Dark told them that.
because she works in HR
Because she
for the
works in
company.
Asia, yeah, which comes out when they're about to stomp her.
And I checked. Biorg is a real company located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Shut up.
I'm sure I don't know how old they are, but it's such a
There's
generic
really-
Biorg.
Is it older than 2009 when the movie came out?
I don't know. I just checked real fast.
What if somebody watched this movie? That's the name of our company. They've been just,
they were a bioorganic company, and they're like, "What do we call our company?"
yeah, it's like $7 trillion they've got in the coffer and they still don't have a name.
Biorg. So, do you believe that they're all just kind of slowly recognizing what this is based on the news? Like, oh, I'm putting this together. Oh, it must be Biorg. Because well, Dark says it's Biorg, right? Is she the one who says that's okay?
That's the name of the company.
So they must recognize it because they're so big and they're so prolific.
Right, and she lets out that they must have solved this pandemic because of the hiring that they're doing right now.
Yeah, she said they found a cure.
Yeah, that's the inside track. So that kind of ratchets
Yeah.
everything up because that makes this job like the ultimate job.
Yeah, and so a lot comes out in this bit.
Yeah.
Was that too much for you? Like was it too much exposition?
No, the whole movie's exposition, but he doesn't like just spill it all out. It plays out, and there's some show it, don't tell.
Was
Like when Brunette says, that's what a pandemic means. Everyone knows somebody that's affected by it.
yeah.
And I'm like, that just hit me like a sledgehammer.
I didn't
Because here we
remember.
are sitting in the middle of COVID, and this was written 12 years ago.
Well, I mean, there were other other things that had occurred around that time, but
there was no world pandemic.
I forgot the word pandemic was in this movie.
She and Brunette's the one that says
I
it.
remember there being something, and that's why I thought sci-fi. At this point, I thought, okay, sci-fi. You don't see the world outside. I assume the world outside is a fucking nightmare. There's zombies. Everybody's eating each other.
And this is the one job left that'll carry you through.
And again, when you got escorted out that room, you are fed to the fucking zombies. Who they've domesticated
Are
somehow.
they fast or slow ones?
Fast. I like fast
Fast
zombies.
ones scare me.
Yeah.
Like World War Z and Legend fast.
Yeah.
Fuck.
In the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yeah, because
so-
they're not fast in the first one.
No, they're not.
Fast.
But
in the
we
first.
hear about Fast and the Furious, did you say?
That was
We could watch that right now.
Do you see how he
could do
sidetracks
it.
so easily? He would.
There's
he
a big
would,
TV in
he
here.
would-
We could watch that right now.
Vin Diesel.
So a lot's revealed. Brunette's partner is infected. Mr. Black's wife died from it, and he's a carrier. He said, I didn't
He
understand
did,
that.
which means I guess that he can.
He was exposed, but maybe he's immune.
But it
or-
hasn't. Yeah, he's immune. He's
They
got
can-
it in his body,
Because there's something with him at the end
but he's not having the symptoms.
that I had to look up. So, and that's interesting because of what happens with Mr. White.
The thing they call the blender, the magic. Isn't
Yeah.
there-
So what they all land on is that the CEO is hiring an assistant. That must be what this is.
Yeah, one or many, but I think they end up believing it's one.
And for a while, I think they think it's all of them. They're being hired as a team, and what's going on is so huge that you need all these people. But why whittle them down?
Yeah, they're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, they have no idea.
So this is when Brunette goes through the guard's pocket, right?
Isn't it? Doesn't she looks into the two-way mirror there and douchebag is going, yeah, you just fucked yourself because you said about your partner and this and that.
Oh, right,
and then
yeah.
and then right.
Right.
And then she walks up to the the two-way mirror and doesn't ask, and very smartly doesn't ask.
Doesn't say
right?
anything. Yeah.
She says, no, I'm an asset because of my partner's situation, I would be loyal for the rest of my life.
Moment. That was a good moment.
Yeah, because if she had said it the wrong way, she'd have been thrown out.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
She didn't ask for. Yeah, it was a good.
That was a really good poll. And they, so what prompts Brunette to go through the guard's pockets? Why is it her? Because it's such a.
She's taking the lead.
It's such yeah.
Boy,
She
it was
kind
right after she just did that whole thing. She's like,
and so she wants to get the sprinklers.
Douchebag set her off, man, and she said, "Fuck this."
So she starts rooting through the guard's pockets and finds a lighter.
Yeah. Oh, look what was douchebag's line? Is he happy to see you? Or
Oh yeah. What a perv, this guy.
Well, she is.
And
got her hands down
what
her
they
front
find
pockets.
is water doesn't work, and this
light doesn't work.
Is what leads to, I think, a real sinister spot in the movie, is where Mr. White does the trick and gets Brunette kicked out of the room.
Yeah, well, they come up with the idea, I forget who, that in the sprinklers, the fire suppression system in the room doesn't necessarily have to be water. It could be the chemical that develops
photography,
on photo paper.
But I think the previous lighting situations would have ruined that. So
yeah, this was the
maybe
idea.
A flaw.
Yeah, so she gets up on the chair with the lighter and is holding it up like 3 feet away, as high as she can, which is going to have no effect on the sprinkler. And it doesn't. It's too far away. You need smoke or you need the heat to break the little mercury tube in it, and that's what sets the fire suppression system off. So it doesn't work rightly. And then douchebag, you see him do a little sleight of hand over at the table. He went from alpha to douchebag, you know?
You are leaning into the D word, sir.
Yeah. Am I getting fired up, folks? Here we go. And hands her the paper to light on fire, which she thinks
is number two.
Is number two's leftover. Experimental material.
Yeah.
So she lights it, holds it up there, gets the whole thing to go off. Now, we're going to regress here, but 2 of them are holding their papers, and black is who they're focusing on, right underneath the water just pouring down in that paper. Paper is just soaking wet. I ask you in the British sort of way, is that not spoiling?
Oh.
The papers are drenched.
Okay.
They are no longer in the condition that they were in when they sat at the table, when they first sat down. Is that not spoiling?
It's a real damn pickle. This is a pickle.
And my British accent.
We may need to stop the podcast right now. This
well,
is a
not
real
only
pickle.
not only black, but there was another guy holding. I think it was Alpha.
If candidate number 2 was kicked out for writing on it, I would assume that.
These papers are drenched.
Right, we're done.
We just trash it. So that might be a glitch. But if they, to their defense.
If you're upset about it, email us. Tell us and how you feel.
They never defined the word spoiling, and that was brought up by.
That's a good point.
Who was it, Brown or Black? And that right in the beginning said we have to define what spoiling means. Yeah. But they kind of left that hanging.
That's true. Well, I mean, the trick that Mr. White plays on Brunette is pretty clever because she burns her own paper and is escorted out.
So after these drenched papers show nothing, she goes back to get hers to check hers, and she's like, "Where's my paper? Where's my paper?" Cut to the robotic guard looking into the room and walking towards her. And then they show her paper. There was
who
a
may
one
or may
paper.
not have pooped his pants at this point. We don't know.
Well, he is wearing brown pants.
Oh, that's probably why they dressed him that way. So then White doubles down, and I think this is, regardless of how the end is, super sinister. He goes to Mr. Deaf, and he obviously just a shell of a man and shaking and muttering in French. He convinces Mr. Deaf to tear his own paper and eat it.
Yep.
Which, when I know about the end of the movie, I'm like, pretty baller move, guy.
He just wanted out of that room. Deaf at that point.
Yeah.
He just wanted out.
And
so he allowed himself
acting.
to be sacrificed so that he could get out.
Yeah.
Because he's not a type A, clearly. And all this stuff is.
And you're thinking maybe he's just a weird kind of
he's having
twitchy weirdo, but
he's having a panic attack.
Maybe he's super smart and he can't handle it, and
right. Yeah,
off he goes.
He's a Tesla. Locked himself up in a New York apartment.
And things escalate. Mr. Black is the first to violence, punches White, and knocks him out, and he's tied to a chair. And it's revealed that Mr. White is infected with whatever this virus is.
I should knock your lights out.
That's good line.
That's what Black says.
Punch your lights out.
Punch it, yeah.
Nobody says that anymore.
And he gives him a nice right cross.
And they tie him up, and
down he goes.
You realize that. And he tries to be sympathetic. I don't think he really is, but he needs a pill, which we realize he's the guy in the intro.
Now it's
chomping on the blue pill.
It's Black's turn to come unglued. They all kind of take their turns.
Not all.
Well,
I'm still clocking Mrs. Blonde at this point.
One of them, we'll get that to the. Well, wait, we'll save that for the end. So he's knocked out, ties him up in the chair, right? And some of the other ones are objecting.
Yeah, everybody's. And
then they won't give him the pill.
Well, they can't find it.
Yeah,
he said it's in my pocket. It's in my pocket.
And interestingly, it's Dark that figures it out. Where's the gum? Can I have a piece of gum? She sees him chomping
Mr.
on the
Brown
gum.
stashed the pill under the desk.
Yeah, and then she checks his desk and finds the pill underneath.
Then the pill is knocked into a grate, and then Mrs. Blonde
falls to the floor and goes down in a
decides
grate.
To help him.
Well, he goes into convulsions, and
so they don't think he's infected, but he clearly shows physical manifestations of being infected. And then we have Mr. Brown takes up the alpha position, and he continues his feud with Dark and ties her up. Right?
Yeah. The pill is down in the grate, and then they just kind of forget about Mr. White.
So he's passed out, and then
we're just going to let him die.
Right.
Well, they did say he goes into a coma and then could be saved after the 80 minutes.
I jumped ahead with
they kind of play
Mrs.
that
Blonde
out.
getting the thing.
And then then the gambler, Mr. Brown, he gets aggressive. And it is revealed that he was a soldier.
Yes. I thought that was interesting. A gambler and a soldier.
Yeah. So then he's going after Dark.
And the paper cut thing.
Yeah.
This was...
Well, how does he tie Dark? He ties Dark to a chair.
Yeah.
Oh, he snuck up behind. He took off his belt, came up behind her, and got her arms into the loop of the belt and snugged it up. And none of the other ones, a couple of verbal issues, but nobody physically came. No, I take it back. Black came, and then Brown turned and punched him in the solar plexus and dropped him.
And solar plexus?
That's where he hit him. He was gasping for air.
People are going to have to look that up.
But
Can you say what's the pedestrian
stand up, I'll show
word for it? What's the pedestrian word for solar plexus?
No, that's what you call it. It's right where the ribs come together.
So what
in the center,
Todd
just
is trying
below
to say
that,
is chest.
No, it's below the chest. So where your ribs come together and meet, if you
it's
push
upper
in there,
abdomen,
right below. It's what when you get the wind knocked out of you, that's what happens. Yeah. So when you punch somebody in the solar plexus,
go mom. It's when it happens, it's a goddamn nightmare.
But if
you think you're gonna die,
if you remember early in the movie, though, Brown challenged Black, and Black turned on him like he was going to punch him, and he backed off.
Yeah.
So here's a complete reverse. The other, he's trying to stop him now, and he turns and punches him.
And we got Mr. Brown, who is looking to take a piece of paper and paper cut torture Mrs. Dark, and she's already got scars or cuts
Well,
on her
yeah.
inner thigh from
he
paper cuts.
He does a demo on his own finger with a wonderful speech about one sliver of a tree, and then he cuts his own finger
But
with
why
it.
does she have already cuts on her inner thigh?
She was self-mutilating because Daddy didn't love her enough, or something like that, is what he said.
Ooh!
He's like, somebody was there before me, and nobody objects when he's raising her skirt up.
I jumped right past this to the him trying to paper cut her eyeball.
Well, that was right after that.
Because that's when it started to get real. And did you notice that Dark looked at the guard with like a, help me?
He said, "Go ahead, ask him for help."
She looked at him. You could like,
Yeah.
dude, we just had lunch together 3 days ago. You know, we're colleagues.
I
What are you
cleaned up
doing?
your bathroom after you shat all over.
I don't think HR typically does that.
Well, you know, a good one.
But this is when Mr. White wakes up. Mrs. Blonde
Well,
finds the pill.
We should
and-
probably resolve the eyeball. He's holding this paper and going to do a paper cut across her open eye. And why is he doing all this? Because he believes she knows what the question is. She is a plant.
But Mr. White has already stated he knows what the question is.
Well, he believes she's a plant from the company.
Oh, right,
in there. Right.
So he's doing forcing Levine. And
It wouldn't be an
he
episode.
fakes her out. She doesn't say anything because she's not. I
Well,
mean, she's not.
Yeah, she breaks down and says she doesn't know, and
Yeah.
he says she's telling the truth because he's a gambler and can tell.
Yes. Look at him.
And he lets her free.
And then a Kenny Rogers song starts and fade to black.
Got to know when to hold 'em.
So Mr. White gets his pill. He wakes up and he's.
How does he get his pill, Ryan?
Yeah, I said that earlier, but
Miss Blonde
Mrs.
reaches
Blonde.
into her ponytail and pulls out a pair of tweezers, which we all keep in our ponytails.
is that like the principal's assistant from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? She
don't-
keeps pulling shit out of her hair.
Yeah, and then she
Staplers
gets a
and-
tweezer and then pulls it out of this gross, gunky drainage thing.
Oh, he doesn't
Vent.
care at that point
He's unconscious.
because he eats the pill and he wakes up and he's still a dick. Immediately. It's the equivalent.
First words out of his mouth is "fuck you."
Oh, what the hell? It's still a dick. And he's he tries for the gun out of the guard's holster because they realize this guard is not going to do anything. He stands there. That's kind of a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how that idea came up. Because they both look at the guard and the gun at the same time.
Yeah.
Him and Black are,
And Mr. Black.
are arguing.
But Mr. Black gets it and he tries to shoot it and it doesn't shoot because it's a fingerprint ID we find, which is kind of an interesting idea.
Yeah.
You see in other movies.
Yeah, who's he? He's shooting White. He's shooting.
Yeah, he's trying to shoot Mr. White, and then this is where my favorite part of the movie comes in because Mr. White realizes it's a fingerprint. I did laugh at this, but it's a fingerprint ID gun. So he grabs the gun, he puts it in the guard's hand, and then he starts humping the guard, trying to make him stand to order while he tries to shoot
He's a
whoever he can.
Yeah, he's just it is.
And
very
the look
goofy.
on the guard's face.
There's
he's
no look.
Nope.
He's just like
Nope.
oh, just
This-
following you around.
Oh, gonna tell the missus about this today. This is a messed up day.
I have no mind of my own.
Shit my pants, and this guy's trying to use my hand to murder another man.
How does he get the gun away from Black? Shit.
I don't know. Not relevant, but he does. And this is when he puts the gun on Mr. Brown, and Mr. Brown's just like, I'm out of here. Which, do you think he kind of gave up a little? I mean, he said it's not worth all of this. He recognized he was headhunted. Maybe he's too good for this, and he just leaves. He's the only one who leaves willingly.
Well,
He's not
surprised,
threatened.
So he's pointing the gun at the other three in the room, holding it with the guard. So we know the gun's going to work now. And Brown is going, he's stepping towards Blonde because he was just going to spoil his paper. And then he's stepping towards Blonde. And he says, no, you'll be leaving by yourself. He was going to grab Blonde as a body shield.
Yeah.
And he stopped him.
And they realized that when they tied Mr. White to the chair, they thought about throwing him out of the room, but he had to leave willingly. That's part of the rules.
Yeah.
So there are rules that are governing this whole.
Yeah. And it was Blonde that stopped them from doing it.
So at this point, I'm kind of clocking her like she's been
Well,
subtle.
she's the compassionate one.
True.
She's the one that's been defending. She saved White's life.
Yeah.
She saved him from throwing him out
Arguably
of
the
room.
worst person in that room. She
Without
decides.
question.
So then I
I
thought
don't even think there's an argument.
maybe there's a reason for that because I mean
Well-
I guess nobody wants to, willingly.
Maybe
Most of
this
them.
job will require compassion, Brian. Maybe this job that they're applying for will require someone that is compassionate. I don't know.
So at this point, it's a mess. Everybody's just kind of
Well, he's still got the gun out. Brown is gone, so we have Blonde left and Black left, and him pointing the gun at both of them, saying, "Okay, you're next out the door."
and then they
So
apparently
Blonde walks by him,
they had a plan though.
and unbeknownst to anybody, she taps him on the shoulder, which had been stabbed by a pencil, by the way. Taps him and says, "Ready," and you're like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah.
And she walks out the door.
You think she walks out the door?
Yeah.
This is good. This
And she yells, lights
Lights out, yeah.
Which we forgot to mention, the lights in the room are voice activated.
Yeah, the room is voice activated,
So the room goes black. Mr. Black attacks.
and it doesn't work out for him very well.
he takes one in the chest.
He gets shot.
Yeah.
But we see that Mrs. Blonde has one foot in the room.
We see these little high-heeled toes sticking through the entryway.
So there was
So she never left the room.
there was a plan, and what I think is really cool is Mr. White thinks he has won.
He's
Dead guy.
He's going to shoot her foot.
Dead guy. I don't think he knows that she still has a foot in the room.
Yeah,
Because
he's walking over towards her
well,
with the guard. He's hobbling the guard over, humped behind him. and he's pointing the gun at
Oh,
her
that's
foot.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And then the time expires.
Yes, yes. I was like, what the hell stopped him? Yeah.
So
the
I
clock
mean,
goes off.
now we start to get to the twist.
Yeah. Well, then he walks over to the two-way mirror.
He goes to the two-way mirror.
Screaming, I'm the one.
I'm the
I
winner."
did everything in here. And then the guard turns on him.
Puts his hand on his
Said,
shoulder.
yeah, you're going to leave. Then shows him what?
Shows him his own watch that shows that there's 23
22 seconds
or
left.
4 seconds left.
Yeah. And then they do a little montage flashback of Def pushing the
Messing
clock
with the
forward.
clock,
Yeah.
pushing it forward.
A la Usual Suspects. I think that kind of reminds me of
there's
that a
some
little
parallels,
bit. Yeah,
yeah.
he drew from that somewhat.
And what is interesting is, so you see Mr. Duff complicit in messing with the clock, and Mr. White looks at his own watch and sees there's 20
Yep.
or so seconds left,
And so then he immediately sticks a gun to his head and pulls the trigger, but it doesn't go
knowing
off.
it's not going to work.
But he acted like it was gonna.
But that was a pretty powerful
It
scene,
was. You're like,
because again, he probably did think it was going to work. It was a really shocking
he was like, I'd
Like-
rather be dead than to lose.
than to lose, which I assume
Without saying that.
because he's pissed because he's about to be thrown to zombies.
Zombievers.
They and we reveal that Blonde is still in the room. What I think is kind of cool is I think at this point, the time still hasn't run out.
Correct. He
Because
thought
there's
it.
still-
He thought it did.
he
so
thought
he's
it
out.
did.
So it's just Blonde left now.
And she sees Mr. Deff's glasses on the floor and noticed that he, the whole time, and I didn't get this, was looking through his glasses, looking through a piece of glass onto his paper.
Well, and if we go back to the linguistic part of it, which I love, so what he said in French was, "Can you see it in there? It shows you yourself. To see clearly is all." And so when she turns the glasses and the piece of glass into a magnifying glass, you see in super tiny letters, question one. Period.
Yeah.
So I was still like, okay, what does that mean?
I didn't get that either.
There's no question there. It just says question one. And then I think Def comes walking back into the room.
The Invigilator and Mr. Deff walk in, and then you're like, okay, something's happening
Yeah.
here.
Well, she has the enlightened moment. She figures it out, what question one is in her eyes.
And she says
She
the
picks the
answer.
paper up and walks right up to Def and hands the paper to him and says, no. And then they do the flashback of the Invigilator saying, there's one question before you and one answer.
Yep.
And the one answer was,
Well, the question was, do you have any questions?
yeah. And which is what he said before you.
So-
and the answer was no.
Now, are you going to attack me after all this? Because all the bad reviews are like, the end wasn't worth it.
Yeah, here's. I'm not going to attack.
It's
just
a
going to ask.
twist.
I'm going to ask a question. What if in the very beginning, when he said, "Are there any questions?" The Invigilator said that. What if Alpha just said no? Because that's in his character to do that,
Well,
but he didn't because it wasn't in the script.
so that question was asked to the director.
Because
via-
that would end it.
that question was asked to the director via Twitter,
So I'm not the only one.
and he
Okay.
said, "Yep," or if it was written at any time during the test.
written.
Yeah, if somebody wrote
Written on
no
what?
on their paper,
You can't spoil your paper.
no, that's the answer. If you wrote the answer, that's fine.
That's spoiling your paper.
That's his tweet, August 27, 2016. Somebody asked the exact question you said,
Okay.
and if somebody had said no, he said, "Yep."
They would have
Or-
been hired.
They would have been hired, or if they had written it at any time during the test.
Wow. So that was what he had in mind when he wrote it then.
Yep.
Alrighty then.
And so they find that they have created this rapid regeneration pill. That's what Mr. Black was shot with, and that's why he
Yeah.
comes back.
Well, she said he said congratulations, you got a job. She says, well, I haven't accepted it yet. I have some questions of my own, and really the big question came down to killing people. And then he says, what makes you think he's dead?
Yep. Rapid regeneration pill. So that's exam. Did you like it?
I did. Something like this is so difficult to write
Yeah.
and cast. I mean, the casting was fantastic, and really those were, as far as I know, unknown except for you mentioned the one
Yeah.
went on to do all
And
those
we
other
know,
things.
from the story from his friend, you'd think
A one-liner,
He
right?
he reverse engineered this from the ending. What if the question was no? But no, the idea was from his friend.
But no.
what if 10 school friends had to go in to a test
Yeah.
and there was no question on the paper?
Yeah. No, it's extremely difficult to write, and he did a fantastic job ratcheting it up, as the movie went on.
Cool. Well, again, I grabbed that tweet from him because I had the same question.
Okay.
What if somebody said no?
Yeah, right in the beginning.
And
Movie's
again,
over.
he put it to bed, August 27, 2016. So we end with reviews. So I'll start with a bad review. And it's titled Worst Movie of Our Generation.
I love these people.
This is a 1 out of 10.
Oh,
This movie was piss poor awful. Save yourself from 101 minutes of torture and do not watch this terrible movie. The film is about a bunch of candidates with occupations ranging from soldier to scientist, all applying for the same job. During this job interview, the candidates try to find the universal equation, solve world hunger, cure AIDS, and attempt murder-suicide.
did he watch the movie?
Yeah.
I mean, there's none of that in
The
there.
plot was mediocre and ludicrous and ends with a giant middle finger pointed directly at the audience.
Wow. So can you imagine being what's his name, the writer? Hindle.
Yeah, he gave you a giant middle finger. And he goes on. As for character development, well, Bond girls literally have more depth and character than anyone in this movie. Pussy Galore comes across as a Rhodes Scholar when compared to this lot. This guy doesn't know what a
well
Rhodes
now.
After seeing this movie, I cried a little. Not because it touched me in a deep emotional way, but because I saw it in its entirety. The final scene of the movie filled me with disgust and hatred, causing me to spit at the screen in indignation.
Wow.
I slowly hunched over into the fetal position. I made a promise that I would one day have my revenge. One day, Natalie Cox. One day soon.
Do me this huge favor and send him a reply in one word. Monty Doro.
No.
And we'll see if he
This
feels
is
the
a crazy
same way.
person.
You're not giving him your email?
He would have his revenge one day, Natalie Cox.
Which one's Natalie Cox?
Blonde.
Ooh.
He wants one. He is
the
going to
winner.
have revenge.
She won.
On her.
She should be scared.
Okay.
He's going to, hopefully he's not over in the UK, that he's over in the US.
I think when compared to this lot is a British term, like this group.
Fuck. She's in trouble.
But yeah, Pussy Galore comes across as a Rhodes Scholar when compared to these ladies.
Wow.
Which I'm not going to agree
little
with.
Matt Damon, Rogue Scholar.
I'm not going to agree with. All right. This may very well be the hardest thing that I do on this podcast. But I chose a positive review, and I'm going to read it exactly as it's written. And it's heartfelt to me. This is not a native English speaker, but I'm going to try to get through this the best way I can.
Okay.
It's titled, My Choose. This is maybe the hardest thing I do in my life.
To be able to read it.
Because
your face has got me. I'm not going to keep it
There
together
are no
either.
spaces. There's no...
So my choose, not my choice.
Yeah,
my choose.
You know, I may take this on the road as like a performance art piece.
All right. I'm going to try not to look at you so you can get through it.
I'm like that guy in The Big Lebowski, like, you know, the dude's landlord, like, dude, you coming to my show? I'm doing my cycle. All right, here we go. My Choose, September 2013. This film is more intrigue film. I like this. I'm shocked. This film show we that more people is primacy, and always one change everything, one manage everything, and one make everything. This life. This is real life. While exams start, everyone were equally, as the white is strong man. But when they say he was patient, I think that he had some motive to be inhuman. Next time, I realized that everyone can identify themselves as persons. This film gives the actual thinking, everything, and choose the best life steps. So this film is excellent. And everyone who watched this film obliged to consider our life. Strength, endurance, analysis, empathy. This is our gold of life. Oh, don't know English language very well, but I hope that my right is understand for you.
Wow. No mention of Pussy Galore at all?
My Choose did not mention Pussy Galore. I was
So that was 10 out of 10 star?
Yeah.
Okay.
I screwed up a few times, and I'm sorry. I didn't, you know. I was taken by everyone who watched this film obliged to consider our life. Strength, endurance, analysis, empathy. This is our gold of life.
I think so. We think he meant goal, right?
I have no fucking clue what, but this is beautiful. This was
It's very heartfelt. Yep.
And there are a lot of good. There are like 196 reviews. A lot of them were good. There are a lot of bad ones. You know, people thought it hung on a twist and that there was too much dialogue.
It's like 12 Angry Men probably wasn't for everybody in the day. A lot of people can't sit through that.
It's like a mix between the movie Cube and 12 Angry Men.
You know, I mean, just today with everything being so fast paced, there's a lot of people that just can't deal with this type of.
Well, thank you for watching. I'm glad you liked it.
I did.
It
was fun to dive into it and dissect it and
I was
study
worried
the characters.
not seeing it for so long, and I'm going, oh boy, this is hinging on like one kind of believable no, and that leads me to Planet of the Apes and the first word spoke, but it's a fun movie and well done. One location movies are hard to do.
Yeah. kudos to. I wish I could remember his name. He had a British flag next to his name too on the credits.
Our director?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Stuart Hazeldine.
There we go. Good job.
All right. Well, thank you, Stuart, for your work. Thank you, Todd, for talking about this movie with me.
And thank you, Ryan, for suggesting it.
Absolutely.
And Ryan, we will always have Monty Dora.
Who are those guys?
Who are those guys?
You'll love it. It's just a little
Love it. It's just as like independent. You know what I mean? You're about to say
You'll love it. It's just a little independent. You're gonna love it. It's just a little independent. Okay.
we're tense. Yeah, we're two or
Yeah.
two. We're like you know, love it. It's just as little independent. Like it's just
Like I'm
little
introducing a
independent.
movie to you.
Like you're about to.
All right. Yeah.
It's just as little independent.